Hello everyone, it's Tristan, Travis, and Mitch here today. And today we're going to teach you guys how to boost your battery if your battery's dead. So all of your car's electrical components are connected to your battery through some circuitry. The battery is utilized for the initial starting of your engine. After the engine is started, it utilizes the alternator to run most of the car systems, but it cannot do that without a properly charged battery. It happens to all of us. It gets cold outside, your battery loses power, you need to jump your old battery. The average life of a battery is 4 years.
So interpreting some signs of a dead or dying battery, your engine will crank really slow or not at all. You'll have some light indicators on your dashboard that will tell you that you have a dead battery. Your radio or wipers will not work.
So in this case here, this blue car is dead. First step you want to do is find a running vehicle, which is this truck behind me, and you want to pull them nose to nose so that they're far enough apart that the cables will still reach, but you can still get a person in between. The equipment you're going to need for this today is a good functioning set of booster cables, some gloves, and some safety glasses. So the first step is opening the hood and looking inside the engine bay to find the positive and negative terminals in the battery itself. This is the battery located here. Red indicates the positive terminal, and black here indicates the negative terminal. Likewise, on the vehicle that you're using to boost, you also want to locate the battery, which is located in the engine bay, and also indicate the positive and negative terminals. The primary tool that we use for jumping cars is booster cables. So we want to detangle them and lay them out so that you have two clamps in each hand, and from this point forward we don't want these clamps to touch because they could cause an arc due to the current passing through them once they're connected to a terminal. So the first clamp we're going to connect is the positive clamp to the positive post, and the reason we do this is because this battery has less energy than the battery of the vehicle we're using to charge, therefore it's safer to connect first. We're not going to connect the negative terminal yet because we're going to use this as a ground later. So first you want to locate the red battery terminal again and put the clamp on and give it a wiggle so that there's a good connection there. And then this negative clamp we're just going to leave on the side here, making sure that it's not touching any metal at this point.
And over here to the running vehicle, we're going to connect the positive to the positive post. And again, give it a little wiggle, make sure it's got a good connection. And then you're also going to ground it to the negative post over here, just like that.
Back to the negative lead that we still have to connect to the dead battery. We're not going to connect it to the negative terminal of the battery because that could produce a spark and it's not intrinsically safe. Remember that these batteries, when they're run down or they're in poor working condition, they can produce hydrogen gas, and remember, hydrogen gas is explosive. So for that reason, we're not going to connect to the negative post, but we're going to find somewhere on the vehicle within the motor bay that we can use as a ground. And the best ground is bare metal, and for that reason it has better conductivity. Remember, when we connect to a ground within the engine bay, we don't want to connect to any metal that's also connected to an electrical component. So for this car, we're going to use one of the motor mounts down low in here. It's good bare metal and it acts as a good ground.
Once you have the jumper cables connected to the dead car and the running car, you begin by starting your vehicle of the running car.
Once the charging vehicle is started up, just hop in your car and start it up. And if you notice after you try and start your car again, your battery's dead again, it might be you just didn't run your vehicle long enough to charge it. So it's important to run your car for at least half an hour to let the battery charge up again. And if you notice it keeps dying, you may need a new battery.
So now that you have your dead vehicle boosted, you want to remove the cables. Removing the cables, the sequence we're going to do is we're going to start with the negative first, If we produce a spark when we remove the negative cable, it'll be away from the battery because we used a ground on the motor mount. If this battery is producing any gases, it'll be away from the battery where we take the clamp off. So we'll start by doing that. Next, you want to remove the red lead also. Make sure at this point these two cables do not connect because they're still energized by the other vehicle.
So over here, back to the running vehicle, you want to take off the negative first as well, and then also the positive, and you can roll them back up and you should be good to go. Your vehicle is boosted, you're on your way.